In Luke 3:1, we read that Licinius was a tetrarch of Abilene in about AD 27. For years, scholars pointed to this as evidence that Luke didn't know what he was talking about, since everybody knew that Licinius was not a tetrarch, but rather a ruler of Chalcis half a century earlier. If Luke can't get that basic fact right, they suggested, nothing that he's written can be trusted. That's when archaeology stepped in. An inscription was later found from the time of Tiberius, from AD 14 to 37, which names Licinius as tetrarch in Albia near Damascus, just as Luke had written. It turned out that there had been two government officials named Licinius. Luke is shown to be exactly right. In Acts 17:6, Luke makes references to politarchs, meaning city officials, in the city of Thessalonica. For a long time, people claimed that he was mistaken because no evidence for the term politarchs had ever been found in any of the ancient Roman documents. However, an ancient inscription on a first century archway was later found that begins in the time of the politarchs. Then archaeologists found more than 35 more inscriptions mentioning politarchs, several of these in Thessalonica dating from the same time period as the book of Acts. One prominent archaeologist examined Luke's references to 32 countries, 54 cities, and 9 islands, finding not a single mistake. In John 5:1-15, we're told how Jesus healed an invalid at the pool of Bethesda. John provided us details that the pool had 5 porticos. For a long time, people cited this as an example for John being inaccurate because no such place had ever been found. But more recently, the pool of Bethesda has been excavated. Archaeologists have uncovered the pool of Siloam from John 9:7, Jacob's well from John 4:12, the location where Jesus appeared before Pontius Pilate near Jaffa Gate in John 19:13, and even the identity of Pilate, of which there were no previous outside Bible references. Until recently, the site of Nazareth where Jesus grew up was only vaguely mentioned in ancient inscriptions. But in 2009, archaeologists uncovered evidence for the city of Nazareth. They have even found evidence that the Romans did in fact require its occupants to relocate from their homes to their hometown every 14 years, just as Luke chapter 1 describes. The writings of a non-Christian Jewish first-century historian named Josephus were discovered, which describes the stoning of James, the brother of Jesus, for transgressing the law. These writings date to around AD 93 and describe a wise man named Jesus, who performed many surprising feats, won over many Jews, and was condemned to be crucified by Pilate. And the tribe of Christians who called after him, he says, still to this day has not disappeared. Josephus was mainly concerned in his writings with reporting on the Jewish war. Archaeology has substantiated all of his claims concerning the war, which is evidence that he was a reliable historian. If time permitted, I could cite hundreds of these archaeological finds substantiating the Bible as being completely historically accurate to the ancient times that it describes.